Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I am not sure if my audio is working. Can you say something?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Huh. I wonder what's going on. It sounds like it's coming from my monitor, but and yet everything in my computer says it's coming from my AirPods, which is very uncanny.
It's just
Um,
a new spatial sound feature, I believe.
yeah, maybe. I mean, it sounds like it's coming from over there, though. It's very strange. Is it coming from my AirPods? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, good morning to you, my
Good
friend. How are you?
morning, good night to you, and I'm great. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Just
good.
lovely.
You're where are you in the world right now, roughly, time zone wise?
Serbia, I believe.
Oh yeah,
So
wonderful.
yeah, got my coffee, and now it's time for software.
You what?
I got my coffee, and now it's time for
Oh
software.
yeah, absolutely. And I am in San Francisco, so I'm very happy to have the chance to talk to you. Look, I've been playing with a new IntelliJ release. Perfect, well done. A huge
Thank you
fan.
very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, very a big thanks for you for a quick review on Modulith support, like on your YouTube. It was quite fast, like hours
Oh,
after the release.
I mean, I've been waiting for this for so long. Oh look, actually, we got a comment just like that, right? Um, you might almost think that it was coordinated, but it wasn't. This discussion was not related to that video, but I just happen to be a very big fan of this new feature here. The Spring debugger in the last release and the new Spring Modulith support in this release are two big features. So I'm very happy. And I'm happy you're here to talk to us about it. Like, look, you work at JetBrains, the company behind
The IntelliJ IDEA,
IntelliJ
yes.
IDEA, and that I think most people who have ever used it like it. I can't imagine they wouldn't. It, I don't know. I don't even know what you. I mean, Eclipse is still there. NetBeans is still there, but the market right now is very much a JetBrains market, and for good reason. I think this is one of the cases where the commercial, you know, commercial technology, for the longest time you still had to pay for it, and people still bought it. It's still the number one choice, right? Like it's really
Yeah,
good.
we are trying our best to keep this.
Well, I know. I mean, I know, and it shows. And so one of the things I love about the technology is that because you have this incredibly good uh, editor, it's easy to pull in or to build support for integrations for different technologies. And so the support for Spring in the last 10 years has just gotten better and better and better and better and better to the point where now it's like I feel like they are two sides of the same coin. My experience writing code in Spring is mirrored by my experience writing code in the IDE, which I love.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you do, first of all?
Yeah, so I'm a product manager for the ultimate part of the idea. So the thing that actually you pay for.
Mhm.
This is mostly Spring Sport, but also Quarkus, Micronaut, and all the Jakarta EE stuff support. Also, we support HTTP client, so I believe you had a chance to use it,
Mhm.
and all the stuff regarding like template languages, etc., etc., etc. So we are not exactly ultimate part of the idea, more like enterprise framework support of
Right.
the idea division.
I love it. I love it. And you can pay, you should pay, obviously, but uh, it's also very possible. I went many years without ever paying for a license legally. Like there's Java user groups. They used to give away license. I don't know if you still
Yeah,
do, but maybe you still do.
Java champions, Java
Java
user groups,
champions, open source,
students, yeah,
students.
open
Yeah,
source.
there's a million different ways to not pay and still get a good copy. And yeah, I mean, you have a very tough job. I'm surprised that you have a lot more hair than I do, because
It's just
it's
a DNA, Heard about the new
all
gen
the
editing, etc. So
keeping up with everything you just described, all the different technologies, and in keeping that support in the IDE fresh. That's a very difficult hair loss inducing problem, I would imagine.
I'm not very long on this particular job, so it is still, well, it will still pay off.
You've got a chance. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about the Spring Debugger, first of all? What is that?
Yeah, so the idea behind Spring Debugger was pretty easy. So we do a lot of design time inspections. We analyze your code offline, but what we always lack is to see the actual state of your application in runtime. So that was the idea. So we need to see how your application is actually configured when you start it. So that's why we decided to go with Spring Debugger. And it actually started with a very, very simple thing. Well, you know, this database connection window. You always need to set up the database connection to be able to work with that. And why don't we we know the database connection from runtime, right? Why don't we just like push it into this tool window?
Yeah.
That was the first thing. And another idea was that, well, properties or YAML files, whatever you prefer. Well, it is always a problem to understand where the property came from.
Yeah.
Well, like several sources, several profiles, configuration servers, whatever. And that, again, we know the property. Well, in Actuator, like you guys, like Spring guys, show that. And well, and this idea appeared like a year ago, I believe.
What?
I guess this idea, I think the idea of Spring Debugger appeared about a year ago, and our product manager from IDEA, Alexei, talked to you on Spring I/O 2024, and after that we decided to like evolve that. And I just want to thank Broadcom team because, well, I believe this is the first release when we talked a lot with you guys. We have like bi-weekly synchronization. Not you haven't participated. You just participated in a couple of demos, I believe. But we do this on regular stuff and discuss this thing. And there was a December demo for Spring Debugger, and yeah, you were on a party with a cocktail. Yeah.
And I also when I first met Alexei in early 2024. The first thing I asked him about was Spring Modulith. Like I sat with him at the office for the very first time 2 years ago, whatever, almost. And
and with Spring Modulith, well, we were pretty, I would say, we were pretty reluctant to implement it because, well, according to our statistics, the usage was not very high. But we see, we see the adoption is growing, and that's why we just decided to implement it. Yeah,
I'm saying it's really nice that it's come together, but he's kept me up to date with what's happening, and I've been very excited. You know, it's very difficult for me to go to those meetings a lot of times because they're so.
No, that's okay. You're a busy guy, so we mostly talk to the technical guys.
Yep, I just love it. I mean that the Spring Debugger has been really, really useful because obviously there's all this state that gets built up at runtime, and I want to have insight into that. And you're right, it wasn't such a big deal for me to open up the database thing and enter the username, the password. You know, that's fine, but at runtime you can already figure that out. Why not just extract it and let me have a database view at runtime? You know, that kind of stuff. And same thing. How do we ultimately resolve a value for the properties? And just the ability to do all that. And also, there's a bunch of small things in IntelliJ recently. I can now just start typing a dependency that's it's a bean in the context as a collaborating object, and it automatically gets injected and packaged private. You've got the new Spring component, file new Spring component thing. You know, just all these really nice things that I love. But can we talk about Modulith? Because that was like...
Yeah, sure, totally. I can even share my screen to
show well, and I already did a video. This is going to be a podcast.
You missed a couple of things. You missed a couple of things while demoing. Yeah, because it was a pretty short demo. Just the feature that you have mentioned recently, the auto injection of a module, or of a bin, sorry.
Yeah.
When you start typing the bin, and it is public, But we detect that it's in a separate module. We show a warning sign saying this is like undesired injection.
Right.
But what I like about Modulith is that it's not invasive. It just recommends you the way you implement your code.
Right.
And unless you enable those tests, you just can be happy with the actual code base. So
Right.
if you still inject the undesired bin from another module, you can like do a quick fix. And actually, thanks to Oliver, we talked to him a lot, and we have even 3 options to make the class open. First, you can annotate it with named interface, and then you can make the whole module open, or you can move the class into the like the parent module, which is open.
Oh, right. Okay. So if it's you're saying if it's a nested package, put it
Yes.
in the module package, which is the one package below the root package.
Yeah, or just to the
Yeah.
exactly.
That makes sense.
So
And
there are different options.
oh, so that's very good. So the quick fix will actually do one of these things for you, because
Totally.
it's sort of easy to figure out from the error what you need to do, but it's not exactly clear. Sometimes it's like, well, how am I supposed to fix this? Oh, okay, move the interface up, and therefore everything can see the interface, and it's fine. It's a common root.
Yeah.
Okay, that is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Okay, so let me backtrack here. Spring Modulith is a framework for building modular monoliths, right?
Yes.
And monolith is a application that all the code is in one place, or most of the code is in one place, in one artifact, one deployment unit. And what we want is for people to be able to write larger code bases, but not have their code turn into this big mess. And this happens a lot in large organizations. And me, I don't know. We have these terrible anti-patterns. We have these patterns that we see in other communities, and I think we borrowed them, and they became very popular. And the one that really kind of bugs me is you have like services and controllers and packages, app.controllers, app.services, app.
Oh no, it's
right?
kind of layer application. Well, it was pretty popular, I believe.
It's still it's still very
early
popular, but it's just the worst thing you can do with a good object-oriented language, So instead, flip it 90 degrees and layer things by the business feature instead of by the technical nature. And so Spring Modulith supports you on that journey, and it gives you this feedback loop that tells you, hey, you're doing things. But by the way, the reason you don't want to do that bad architecture is because everything must be public.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that architecture, if you have a repository in the repositories folder called customer repository, and then there's a model in the models folder called customer, and there's a service in the services folder called customer service, and then there's customer controller. The service, the repository, and the model all must be public. Right.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, they're all implementation details. They should not
because it's easier to inject them into each other when you need them.
Yeah, if they're public, but they're implementation details. They don't need to be public. So it's a good object-oriented language, Java and Kotlin and whatever. So they should be packaged private. And so, or at the very least, they should be next to each other. They are similar. They're part of an aggregate, right? They're all part of a single concern.
Yeah.
So you have this real use case here where you want to scale your code base out. You don't want people creating dependencies on your code because those dependencies create fragility in the system that you must negotiate every single time you make a change, right? If you change a dependency, other parts of the code might break, but they can't have a dependency on your code if there's nothing public, or if you've just got one interface and that's it, right? And so by reducing the surface area of your public types, you make your code easier to grow, right? People are very clear about
totally, and you can split all those modules if needed. So you can just extract them into a separate service, and that's
right. And so Spring Modulith gives you this. It gives you this feedback about your architecture. It's sort of like a compiler for your architecture, right? It barks. It breaks the build when you do bad things in the architecture. And so we have a way in Spring Modulith to get the feedback via a test. And that's good. If you go to CI, if you go to continuous integration, it'll break there.
Oops, you have disappeared. Sorry, Josh. Something is wrong with your sound again. Can you say
Oh,
something? Yeah,
test, test,
now
test.
I can hear you. And
Okay.
yeah, that's a funny thing because in Modulith 2,
Mhm.
Oliver told us that in Modulith 2 he introduced a special property that will break your build, not your tests, but it will break your build if
Oh,
it's not
cool.
set to false. So basically, Modulith like make it a bit more strict.
Even more difficult. Yeah, that's what it should be, right? Like, and my point is that feedback is super useful, but the problem is right now, you have to wait until the test
Yeah.
fails, right? And I want that as I'm making changes. I want to see that feedback. I want the architecture, the changes I'm making to the architecture to break immediately. I want to see red squiggly lines in my IDE.
Yeah. So as for red squiggly lines in the IDE, there was a discussion because we were pretty reluctant to introduce them red, since red means compilation error, and IDE developers usually say, well, my application still works, but Modulith says that it's IDE says the module injection is wrong and it's highlighted as red, but it still compiles. It's a bit confusing, but finally we decided to like make it red because actually they will be
a test that'll break the build.
Test that will break the build. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. It's the right default. That's so good. Like if you're using Spring Modulith, you want the help, to keep your code clean. So well done. I'm a huge fan. That is super good. I also use the new Spring component menu all the time.
Okay,
right?
you're just getting used to it, right? Because
I know. I just love it. I mean, I used to use the file new Java class, whatever, but the Spring component it's convenient. It puts the annotation for me. It's package private. It's just very nice. Hello, everybody. We've got some people saying hello. Very nice to see you. Hello. Hi. Good afternoon from India, one of our friends says, and hello from Serbia and San Francisco, two places that start with S. Yeah, I don't know. So this is already out. If this is already GA, right? IntelliJ 2025.2.
Yeah. So as for this feature regarding the quick component creation window, we were inspired by you, Josh, with your speed of typing, and we decided, well, not people can do that, so we decided to help them, and our purpose just make people typing. And IDE should do the hard stuff like injecting the bins into constructors,
right?
Or just if you use Lombok, just add all-X constructor or whatever while you're typing, so you're not losing focus.
I love it. I'm a huge fan. The IDE has become this little vehicle that I can drive. I feel like I'm in a cockpit of a race car. It just gets out of my way and lets me write code. What's the, anything else I should know? What are some other big features people should know about in the new release?
Java 25. Sorry, Java 25. So we have to run faster than Java releases to be able to deliver Java 25 experience right on time. So we are introducing the Java 25 support. So all the syntax thing, etc., you can use it. It is still says that it is preview, but as soon as Java 25 is released, preview will disappear and you can enjoy the full experience.
I can't wait. Java 25 is, I don't know. Have you played with Java 25? I mean, I'm sure you have.
Not much, but yeah, it's not exactly my area, but yeah, I tried to. It's great.
My favorite feature, I'm hoping you have support, I'm sure you do, for classes that have no main method, right?
Oh,
yeah, sorry, no class.
Yeah, that's the generator. Yeah, that will generate. It should generate your sample application with the new syntax as soon as it is released.
Void main parenthesis. That is so beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that. Right? Because I honestly I love Java. I know Java. I've known it for most of its life. But I it's a lot of code. I don't want to write all that code.
I used to work as a teacher in the university. It was the hardest thing to explain. So guys, you need to create a class with a static method, which you don't need the class itself, but you need the static method because it's an entry point, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
So now it's much easier to explain. In Kotlin, you have first class functions, but here now you can just implement it. Yeah, that's great. Finally.
Huge. So I'm hoping I can open up IntelliJ and just start writing Java scripts. Right. The other thing people don't realize is you can do test.java, capital T or lowercase actually, and then just if you put a full class in there, public static void main, and then you call Java space test.java, you don't have to compile it. Java will just run the source code now. That's been true for years, so those two things, void main without a class around it, and then the fact that you can just run the source code, you can do scripting. It's a JavaScript, right? Like that's wonderful.
Not JavaScript, but JavaScript.
Yeah, script in Java, which is the only appropriate kind of JavaScript, right?
Totally.
And so using my IntelliJ for my JavaScript around the operating system, and if you use something like a JBang, which is a nice tool for building, it has even extra support from that, then you can do, oh my goodness, you can do almost all sorts of things. You can have dependencies, you can do all sorts of stuff. So yeah, Java 25, I can't wait to use that inside of IntelliJ.
Cool. And another thing which is gonna be big is JSpecify. Finally, we have a proper not null annotation with like the single source of truth. I say single package of non-null annotation, because we have like what, Guava, right?
Right.
JetBrains, not null here at our.
I think Spring has some too, right? Where they had
Spring had some. So yeah. Finally, we are moving there. There was a great talk by Sebastian regarding that.
Mm-hmm. Sebastian Belaev, our friend.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Nullability. Tony Hoare famously said that
$1 billion mistake, etc. etc.
And of course he was wrong, right? PHP was the $1 billion mistake, but null was also bad, right? Maybe it was the $1 billion mistake as well. I don't know, but so null, null is just a thing that we've dealt with in C languages forever, right? It's been around for a long time, but so many languages like Kotlin have built-in support for checking for null,
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just, there's a whole bunch of bugs that go away when you don't have null,
yeah, totally. There will be a lot of improvements because, well, first when I started writing in Kotlin, I suffered a bit because some types were marked as non-null, and I said, well, how can I? But then you got used to it, and it's very helpful.
Yeah. And it's less to think about because you don't have all these extra states that the code could be in. Either you have a value or the program is not working, right? Like it's very simple, right? It's not like a value or it's a null value, right? It's just you have a reference or you don't. And I don't know. I think that's good. Rust doesn't Rust have nullability specifications?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not very familiar with Rust, unfortunately. Busy with what I have on my plate.
Yeah, Rust has no nulls, so yeah, it has options. So you have to deal with it. Is my point. Having the ability to deal with it and be forced to deal with it is super useful. So for people who don't know, this is another one of those examples where it's already solved in the build tools and in the frameworks, almost sort of. But where it's valuable is in my IDE, right? So what JSpecify gives you is some annotations that you can put in your source code, and it'll tell the compiler, hey, I'm not allowing a null reference in this place, in a method parameter, in a field, whatever, in a constructor argument. And those annotations are standard. It's called JSpecify. You can go to jspecify.dev, I think. And
jspecify.dev.
You can look at the annotations there. You can use them. They're just a library full of annotations and some processing, and you can bring that to your code base. We did that in Spring, all over Spring.
Yeah, that's what I said. In Spring 7, it will be a standard library for null control.
Across everything. And I was having a conversation with our friend Rob Winch, Spring Security Lead, Rob Winch, a few days ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, maybe, I don't know, whatever. It was, anyway, great conversation. And he was telling me, he was teaching me, because he's a lot smarter than I am. He was teaching me about how, because of the work that they were doing with nullability in Spring Security, they found a potential bug, right? Because remember, Spring Security is almost as old as Spring. It's been around since 2004, right? And so they found that there was a use of something where in some cases they're not expecting of that reference to be null, but in other cases from different decades, they were explicitly allowing it to be null. So
Okay.
if it was used over here, it was null. If it was used in this way, it could not be null. But it's the same object, right?
Oh.
And that's not good. And these things didn't line up to each other. They had no.
Once one it was a great talk from Bill Pugh, who was like the Find Bugs author, if you remember, and there was a talk called Bugs That Matter. I hope that this bug doesn't matter in Spring Security, and just eliminating it will fix all the things.
Well, what it did for us was it made it so that we had to fix it. We had to be very clear in the documentation about it as well. Like, it just wasn't clear. Now we can say there's a contract here. This type has to be in this state always, and we can reason about how that is handled in the rest of the system. So, yeah, that kind of stuff. It helped us, and it'll help people. They right now, unless somebody uses nullability annotations in their code, then at least they get the benefit of knowing that these APIs that Spring provides support a null reference here, or they don't there, or whatever. But if they do in their APIs, that's going to be even better. Then the effect spreads into the code base. And there are build tools for Gradle, for Maven, that'll give you this feedback. That's why this works.
Nullaway or something.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I don't want to wait until the build tool or the CI environment. I want
the IDE should. IDE should provide it to you. So yeah, we introduced the support for JSpecify in this release, and in the next release, we are planning to adopt it for Spring 7, because those are just kind of edge cases when you can have null and you don't have an like bugs. Nullaway doesn't know anything about Spring, so we need to explicitly say that this thing is like not initialized on purpose, because it will be initialized by framework, etc., etc.
Yeah. Well.
So yeah, the nullability support is coming to Spring with Spring 7 and with the next release IDEA. But in this release, if you were using plain old Java, just enjoy. A more stable API and inspections and quick fixes, etc.
And this is JetBrains, but not specifically IntelliJ. Kotlin, my understanding is that the JSpecify annotations, Kotlin will treat them as if it was like a nullability annotation.
This is the huge work with you guys, with Broadcom and with JSpecify committee. I believe Sebastian is there in the JSpecify community. So yeah, we are talking, and we are implementing Kotlin to take into account JSpecify annotations and treat them as exclamation or question marks for their code. Yeah,
that is so cool. Again, Spring Framework 7, Spring Modulith right now, but I hope people will take the opportunity. If they build these new applications, they can build them so that they're null safe. They can use. There's a virtual thread debugger now in the new IntelliJ, right?
Thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing, right? Because virtual threads are better for scale. You've got a GraalVM debugger already that's been there, right? You've got good Spring debugger support, so you can get the actual, the state of some of the things in the actuator. You've got, the nullability. I mean, and you've got Modulith, so you can build a really clean, modular, null-safe, scalable, lightning-fast application and get visibility at every step now. I mean, this is a totally different Java.
Yeah, with Joy with Spring Debugger, yes.
Yeah, I mean, all these things. This doesn't look like Java. It's a different language. If you took all these things and this experience and called it, matcha or whatever, like people wouldn't even know it's the same Java that they remember from 20 years ago. Amazing.
So many things. So other than that, other than those things, like Spring virtual thread debugger is very useful. Thread dumps and debugging is very useful, but they are mostly like, I wouldn't say that a lot of people will do virtual thread debugging or thread dumping, but library developers for sure, and this is very important for like Spring framework developers. Mostly people just don't bother with that, but having this opportunity is great because, well, I'm in IntelliJ IDEA development where it is sometimes suffering with all the multi-thread threading things, and when you're developing tools, it will be very important.
Nice.
Well, Maven 4.
Oh,
should we mention Maven 4?
Yes, please. But I don't know anything about it. Is it real?
It's like, Half-Life 3 or Half-Life 4, which is like still under development. It is closer and closer to release. But again, we are updating our code to be sure that as soon as Maven 4 is released, we are compatible with that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even. Okay, I gotta check out this. There's a what's new. I just don't know.
There is a release candidate for Maven 4, but again, it is not officially released. But I guess all the things are pretty stable, and guys are just fixing small issues before releasing that. Yeah, so
verify. Okay, I will check this out. I was. Do you? I know that this is a IntelliJ discussion, but do you happen to know if Maven 4 provides support for transitively managing plugins? Like,
I don't know. I don't know actually. I know about the splitting between POM files, so you can split POM files to different ones, but I'm not sure about transitive plugin. No.
Oh, they have their own BOM type.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, this is amazing. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay,
So
I'm gonna. I should definitely take a look at this. I mean, I really want to try that out. See, this is good. IntelliJ already supports this. Good.
Yeah. The same as with Java 25. So just try it on all the stages and see what you can get from it.
Amazing. Anything else?
As soon as we're talking about build tools, I can mention Bazel support. It's not very popular. It's not very popular, but we have a totally new Bazel support, and internally we are moving to Bazel. It's because, well, we have a huge code base, and neither Gradle nor Maven cannot handle it to build it properly. So we are moving to Bazel, which seems like a good choice for our code base.
Nice.
And yeah, based on that, we are just releasing better Bazel support for IntelliJ. So if you guys happen to have like millions of rows in your code base, try this. Maybe it will help. So I guess that's it. We're not delivering a lot. And there's going to be a new issue in our blog saying what's fixed, where we will say what we are stabilizing in our thing. And as for Spring, like all those small bugs with Spring security, like custom login logout URLs now can be properly handled. And the biggest thing with Spring support is fetching out all the URLs and build them and understand which URL is which, and to properly understand where to navigate and where to handle that. I guess that with Spring Debugger, we will do it better because we can gather URL information from runtime, like endpoints, etc., so we can properly detect it in runtime, at least.
Okay. I mean, this is again, this kind of stuff is. There are ways to get some of this outside the IDE, but the fact that it's all just there. I mean, I love this. It's just you don't have to leave. You're in one tool that takes you wherever you need to be.
It's called the IDE because
I know,
it's an integrated development.
It just feels so much better when it's all integrated. Well done. Okay. I don't know, jetbrains.com. Where do people go to learn more about this stuff?
Yeah,
you know?
jetbrains.com or blog jetbrains.com.
Oh yeah,
They can go there.
You have a good YouTube channel. You've got a few different YouTube channels that are pretty good. So check those out as well.
Yeah, you can check the IntelliJ IDEA YouTube channel, because that's our topic,
Yeah.
Our theme, and there's gonna be a stream soon about what's new, when our developer advocates professionally will talk about what's new with examples and screen sharing, etc., in a fancy studio, etc. But now
Right.
it's kind of raw material from like technical stuff.
So good. Okay. And what about yourself, my friend? Are you on the internet, and do you want to be found? And if so,
Yeah, I have Twitter. It's Andrey Belaev. Recently, you have retweeted me, and I believe it is easier to find my account in your Twitter rather than my handle.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah.
Let me put it on the here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I have to log in. Let me see. It's funny because I just logged into my Twitter, in a browser, and I looked at there was like a moment a few years ago where they made it so that you had to be logged in to see the content and everything that was out there before.
Yeah, that's very irritating.
Right. And so awkwardly, I actually had a tweet about IntelliJ from like 3 years ago. That was among the last ones that I've seen. Let's see here.
That was like a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
I can drop my tweet handle.
Yes.
Into
oh, here you are. I got
chat.
it.
Yeah.
Belaev.
Andrey. Yes.
Okay. Let me see if that works. Yo, there we go. There you are, my friend.
Great. Thanks for hosting me.
What?
Thanks for hosting.
Oh, thank you. Are you kidding? So much fun. Thanks everybody for listening, for hanging out. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, and evening.
And night for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
See you.